You.
If I had a car like that, I would totally flip around and punch people in other cars. Here is our player from OGS, the Red Zerg player, over on the left side of GSL Dual Site. Can he come back and stay in the GSL? We're going to find out. He is.
OGS Luvsic.
Well, I don't want to. Well, we'll talk about this in a second. I want you to get your intros out.
Okay.
Get your intros out, all right?
Thanks
Just let them out.
Respecting the sanctity of the GSL game intro. And over on the right side of the map, in blue, is our Terran player. He's got many J's, but will it help him?
NS 호소 jjakji.
I don't know. I don't know if that really has an effect on the game at all, actually.
My favorite part of the Speed Racer film was, and this is from watching, I was watching it with this girl that had never really seen Speed Racer before. She didn't really know anything about it. I dragged her there. She's like, this is going to be lame. It ended up being really good. And she's sitting there going like, is Racer X Speed's brother? So spoiler alerts, guys. Like, don't listen if you like don't want to know.
That movie came out like 4 years ago. It's okay.
Is he the brother? And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. And she's like, oh, I'm so sure. And I'm like, I'm just not going to say anything. And then they have that meeting on the track.
Yeah.
And he takes off his mask, but he's got like plastic surgery. And he's like, I'm not your brother. I'm sorry. And he's like, but you drive just like my brother. But it actually is his brother.
I know.
But he's just like, just believe in yourself. And that scene was so good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the Speed Racer movie was just so well done to me. I'm so pleased with it. I want there to be a sequel, man.
There should be.
Like,
I don't
doesn't
know why
even make sense for there to be a sequel because they squeeze like all the events from the anime into the movie, pretty much. But
man, you can always make a sequel.
You can always make a sequel.
It's Hollywood, man. They make sequels to everything. Fast expand for Luvsic. You know, that Racer X was also the Doctor from Lost as well.
I actually never watched Lost.
It's pretty good. It's got Racer X in it.
Well, it's like, I'm like, I didn't really want to watch Lost. You're like, it's got Racer X. I'm like, well.
Yeah, now you're thinking.
Does he like drive around the island?
He does. They make a racetrack.
Then like his legs stop working. He has to make someone else drive for him, but the guy that drives for him can't see.
That's actually how they get back to the mainland. They just drive in circles so fast they go through time.
Speed Racer anime is just one of those animes you can't go back and watch. Like, actually, I love Speed Racer as a kid, but that's one of those things I would not recommend you guys going back and watching. Or you'd be like, well, Wolf actually watched this? Like, what a crazy person.
That and like Dragon Ball Z. I loved it, but I would never watch it again.
I really like what players are doing with this bunker positioning. Yeah. Where like they pressure their opponent a little bit, and the drones have to come and deal with this a little bit.
It's awesome that he gets it down right before the hatchery finishes too, almost each time. And the big thing is all the mining time that you lose, because you need to respond to it with at least like 6 drones. If you only bring like 4.
It would just be canceled, and the minerals lost from canceling that were insignificant compared to the
power of the dark side.
I know, it's just gonna like the power of the Force, man. The power to destroy an entire planet is insignificant.
That's true. I don't know though. The power to destroy an entire planet is pretty good. If you ask me. Not that I
actually had a wallpaper once that had that quote. And it was just like had Darth Vader and a planet like, blowing up, and I don't know. It's just like that sounds so silly, but it was really cool.
It sounds so cool. Nice raising the supply depots just in time. Never mind lowering it again, taunting them. The Hellions coming out now.
The Zerlings actually had selected the Scantipede for attack.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but that Scantipede took some splash damage there from those Hellions.
It's a risky business.
You know, the thing about Scantipedes is even though they look like Zergians, of course not, they don't regenerate health like Zergians. So that Scantipede is so nervous. If an SCV so much as pokes that Scantipede, that's lights out for him, man.
Yeah. Why would he do that?
Scantipedes like to live in the face of danger.
I think the best things about Scantipedes are their will to make everything better for people.
You know what I wonder about Scantipedes?
What's that?
Is that if you could heal them with a medevac.
Oh, I don't think you can, but maybe you can.
Like if you target it with the heal command?
We'll find out. This is the type of thing we do at the GOM house, actually. We think of these things and then we try them.
Well, this is the type of thing I wish we did at the GOM house, but you're just actually trying to like cover for this? You're like, no, Wolf's being weird, man? I'm like, no,
we did it before. When I was here before, we would do this stuff.
Oh, really?
We can do it again? Yeah, totally.
Well, we should do that, man. I want to find out if you can heal a Scantipede.
We'll let you guys know tomorrow.
Those Hellions, not too impactful. He just wants to pressure them. They're not actually there to kill drones. They're just there to control the watchtowers. These Zerlings are going to kill a few SCVs, maybe even the Marines as well.
I like this by Luvsic. Putting the pressure on early, making sure that he can keep that expansion from being useful for as long as possible.
That was good Hellion positioning there.
Yeah, I mean, that one might not. Well, it'll probably live.
Blue Flame finishes.
All right. And here we are again. We're in that position where the Marines out, the Blue Flame Hellions are out, and it becomes very, very difficult for Zerg to get anything done on the map.
And Luvsic makes another Spine Crawler, realizing that last game that was his best defense against what jjakji threw at him. Having those spines that just really slowed down the attack so significantly.
The best defense is a good defense. Sometimes a good offense, but usually just a good defense.
Baneling Nest being made next to the ramp to help wall off with that Queen. Lair gets started. As you can see, a lot of switching going on, more production facilities being added.
Yep, now he can reactor out Blue Flame Hellions now that the upgrade is done, and he can also get stim.
He's gonna do the drop with the Hellions, I think.
Yep.
Very difficult to stop this. There are 2 Overlords in position to spot things like this.
I think he's got enough Zerglings. I don't think Luvsic is gonna take a whole lot of damage. Maybe he will. I don't know. It depends on the positioning, how it ends up, but I think he's got enough right now.
Oh, and you may see this. I think he is gonna see it. Well, he didn't, but the Hellions are like, well, I kind of want you to notice. Yeah, this Overlord is going to see it.
Cow will see it.
And I think we'll see.
Oh, this is what's so dangerous.
This is why the Zerglings aren't running forward, is because he can just lift those up.
Yep.
He's going to take out some Overlords that actually supply blocks Luvsic. He's going to lose another one. He's going to be even worse in the red. Yep. Baneling's being morphed here. Hellions being dropped on the high ground. That's a big committal.
And 2 Hellions moving into the natural as well. 1 taken out by the Spine Crawler, but now all the Hellions are moving into the main mineral line.
I'm not sure if I agree with this.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the best. Well, obviously it wasn't because everything died, but
yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with that commitment there.
That's the thing, is that if you're going to do this type of push, I almost feel like you need to be more passive earlier in the game, because if you're aggressive and they make all these Zerglings, when you do that attack, then they've got a ton of stuff to defend it with, and then what are you going to do? So,
well, the other thing is, you don't actually have to kill drones with that. You can just poke, kill a bunch of Zerglings, poke, kill a bunch of Zerglings, and eventually he's going to run out of Zerglings.
Yeah,
or he's not going to do anything, and then you can kill drones. It's like, you don't have to like commit and try to do like the... I think so many players get caught up in this idea of that Hellions are for just the massive drone like massacre, like barbecue, whatever you want to call it. You know, we should eat barbecue tonight.
I'm so hungry right now, dude. We're going to go out and get some food after this series.
Yeah, we'll be back later tonight, guys.
Yep, we'll get a quick break. But what we were saying, when we saw this sort of opening from the Terrans at MLG, they actually wouldn't put a lot of pressure on their opponent. So when this push eventually did happen with the Marines and the Medevac and the Hellions, there weren't a lot of Zerglings to defend against it, and that's when it really became deadly. So, yeah, I almost think that jjakji was too aggressive early on with this.
He just didn't need to commit to dropping all of his units up. There was no reason for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when he saw that there were Banelings there. So, anyway, even so, he did a decent amount of damage. The bunker at home to defend against this run-by is not prepared, but there is a Hellion and a few Marines that should be enough.
They're prepared. They went to Marine school. They're ready to go. And
no third base yet for Luvsic. He was eager to make one, but when this push came, he had to cancel that idea.
It's going to be really tough for him to make one until he gets some mutas out on the field.
He's just still supply blocked. He's been supply blocked for a while. He keeps getting supply blocked. Overlords get taken out.
Yep. Does he have a Spire yet? I don't believe he does. Because he did get his lair. He's getting Baneling speed. Okay, he does have the Spire just finished. He's got +1 flyer attack starting now. And yeah, he really can't do anything at all until the mutas come out.
This is going to be pretty tough. He's losing a lot of creep here.
Yeah.
This is really nice by jjakji. He's just patiently killing creep tumors.
Yep.
Doesn't even have to do anything else. He just goes, okay, well, you don't have a third, and you're losing a lot of creep tumors, and oh, you guys didn't get a shot of it. But the drone went to go and kill, or go and make another base, and the Marine was there and stopped him. So he's denied the third even more. Looks like he's eager to take his own third base. I would love to see him make a third command center and then attack.
Well, he's got that force out on the map. He'll have siege tanks ready to go by the time the mutas are out. He could go into a more traditional Terran push, only this time he's going to have a ton of Hellions as well.
Look at this. Hatchery under attack here. He spotted it. He was looking for the drone. Kills it. Forces the cancel again. Luvsic making another hatchery, though, immediately down at the bottom center. He's down about 17 supply. But the mutas are out. He's going to try to use those to good effect. There is a missile turret here, ready and prepared. And 1 muta for 1 missile turret. Not the best trade. But he does get a stem off on those Marines.
Yep, that does a decent amount of damage, too.
It's like AoE damage in this weird way of thinking about it.
Sort of. Well, it does do an AoE. Well,
I just mean like the force stim is like the muta caused the AoE damage.
Yeah. Well, essentially, it's damage caused by your opponent because you wouldn't stim your Marines if you didn't have to. So.
I like made that joke, or it's not like a joke, but I like said it was like kind of like AoE damage. I remember one time on the forums, people were like, Wolf thinks that it did AoE. I'm like, no, guys, I'm just like saying. It's like
It's because you never played World of Warcraft. That's why you don't know what AoE damage is.
it's the area of effect. The area of effect on
maybe
those
you do know
stemmed
it.
Marines.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, if Marines did AoE, that'd be pretty dangerous. So, and if he gets it before the upgrade finishes, that'll be a nice little score for those mutas, but I think he's going to need to pull back yet. Yep, not going to be able to
He's
stick
damaging
around.
an engineering bay and a bunch of supply depots. The Marines did not stem this time smartly.
Yep.
A bunch of Hellions on the watchtower. I think they're just waiting for the drones to transfer that base, and then they're going to attack.
And that's a lot of
Those
medevacs
are-
out for jjakji right now.
Those Hellions are drone sharks.
drone sharks.
Yeah, man.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to the mineral line.
Well, those drones owe those Hellions money, man. They're like, you can't mine those minerals.
Gonna break
Drone sharks, man.
break the drone's legs or something. Break its kneecaps.
Huh.
Sure would
And
be terrible if something happened to this hatchery.
This command center might be forced to cancel.
Maybe, yeah. I think he's gonna.
Oh, no, he gets back
maybe
just
not.
in time.
Yeah.
That was a close call, though. Uh-oh, these drop ships flying over.
Oh,
Gotta be very careful about that. Doesn't lose any of them, though, just by coincidence.
oh, the Hellions pulling back. Here he goes. Tanks are sieged up in time, but is it going to be enough? Hellions doing tons of damage to the Lings, and look at all the Marines left over.
Yeah, that was a really good split. It was very difficult to see, but the splitting was excellent.
Yeah.
That game the game may have been decided by that push. If jjakji decides to get aggressive here, it's gonna be very difficult for Luvsic to deal with it.
I don't think he is. I think he's just going to try to make maybe a few more Hellions, pressure down at the third base again. Looks like he's just trying to secure his third right now. But
Yeah,
the
he's
supply-
allowing Luvsic to bully him a little bit, keep him in
Yeah.
his base.
Well, Luvsic is a little bit ahead on supply right now, and he did get his third up a little bit faster, so I definitely wouldn't call jjakji terribly far ahead, you know?
Yeah,
But-
well, he's just got this composition that could bully his opponent.
Yeah.
Like, if jjakji attacks, Luvsic has to bring everything home or he just loses. I like this Muta choice, though. Basically, this is what map control means. Is that even though jjakji has like a better unit composition, he's too afraid to move out because these mutas keep coming in. What he should be doing, though, is making it so that the mutas are afraid to move out because they might need to hold and desperately keep him
Yeah.
alive so the game doesn't end.
That too.
And so the watchtowers are controlled now by Luvsic. He's taking that fourth base, it's getting saturated right now. And jjakji is playing a little bit passively. Now he's kind of trapped. He can't really move out very easily. He's given Luvsic too much time.
Yep. And the mutas are going to see that too. 3 turrets on the way, 2 already finished, and that is a planetary that'll be very, very difficult for Luvsic to take out. And it looks like jjakji is going to get aggressive. We see a blue blob moving down the minimap. There it is. Fear the blue blob, Wolf.
I would be
Turrets.
afraid if I were that Zerg player of that blue blob. I wonder if he's got allied colors on, so for him it looks like a red blob.
I prefer to have allied colors on. I like to play like that.
Me too. It's always very standard when you do that. Nice scans here to clean up creep tumors, but here comes the engagement.
Here he goes. Here come all the banelings. There are not too many of them. Nice marine split. All the banelings dying before they can connect. He will lose his
That
tanks
was like
again.
the best marine split I've ever seen, man. That was so good. He
know-
like didn't oversplit. It was just barely split enough, and then he targeted
too
down the
good.
banelings.
Automaton 2000 making a guest appearance at the GSL apparently.
Look at this, getting aggressive now. This is what he needed to
Yep.
do. Targeting down those
Oh.
banelings.
All right.
Normally really good about that.
And looks like he's going to lose these Marines in this medevac, but here comes the rest of the army.
Well, now he knows those Zerglings aren't doing a counterattack, so he's going to send the rest of his army. Whoa!
Whoa!
Nowhere to split now.
Oh,
That
wow.
was so close, man.
Okay, never mind. He did lose most of his Marines. I was thinking it was going to go okay, but that actually slowed down jjakji quite a bit.
Well, he's got another group of Marines that needs to join up with the rest of these forces.
Yeah.
If he really wants to engage, because there are 21 mutas out. Infestors are about to pop too. This is going to be the really scary part.
You know, we're at basically the same position we were last game where there's barely not enough mutas, but I think that's going to change. I think jjakji is going to absolutely get crushed here in this attack.
Yeah, he really is.
Or not.
Well, the Banelings should go and kill these
Well,
Marines, and yeah, he does have enough.
yeah.
He just doesn't realize it, I don't think.
Well, you know, he was sending banelings at tanks. That's never
Yeah, he
efficient.
didn't control his Banelings very well. That battle was a little bit indecisive.
There we
Now
go.
he's definitely going to be able to clean this up. There's
Yep.
way too many. There's like one medevac per Marine.
Yep. So I think we finally hit that point where he's got enough mutas that if he just keeps making mutas and keeps playing smart,
But with these
And-
Marines
yeah, it was
joining in, It's a very tug-of-war situation. Are we watching Dota right now?
Infestors out on the
Yeah,
field.
they're out now.
Well, you know this map was patterned after Dota.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was actually. The layout they decided to design after a Dota map. And those Marines are about to get fungled.
Yeah, this is not looking good for jjakji.
And fungal number 2. Not getting thrown down there.
Is he going to catch these dropships? That would be huge. We need to just get out of here.
Yeah. And those Marines
so many units. Is it going to be enough Marines? It's just barely enough Marines. I'm like watching Marines counter everything. There's infestors and mutas of like +2. It doesn't even matter.
Man. You know, I can see why he switched into infestors after last game, but I don't know if that was the best choice. If he would have spent that money on a couple more mutalisks instead of infestors, he would have enough right now.
That was the definition of a razor edge right there about how that attack went.
Like Gillette is going to call us and be like, "Can we use that?"
Yeah,
that's like the best definition for razors ever.
I mean, one less Marine in that, and that game, the game would have been over.
Yeah.
And now it looked like the game may still be over, but in a different way than I expected.
Yeah, it looks like jjakji is going to be able to take this game.
A lot of indecisiveness with this mutas. Just so much indecisiveness. He like didn't commit at all. He just flew over the Marines for a second and flew away. Good fungals here, but the Marines are just streaming in across the map.
Yep, he's going to have plenty of reinforcements now, and Thor's coming in as well.
Yeah, I think this may be it. I think this actually absolutely is it. He's going to kill all the production facilities here. Luvsic has 2 more bases, but
jjakji is so far ahead right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter here.
Yeah, he's long distance mining from the gold right now, as we can see. It's not going to help Wolf.
No, it's not. The hatchery falls to the natural, but the more important thing is that the main hatcheries and production, or tech structures, I guess you could say, are going to start falling.
And it is all doom and gloom for the Zerg scene here right now. I think we're about to see an upswing in TVZ. I've got a feeling that Terrans are about to start winning in TVZ a lot more than they have been.
Well, it's just that the Marines were just barely enough all the time. They had good upgrades, and his splitting was so good in almost every single engagement. Look at his splitting now.
It's very good. That hive is feeling kind of awkward right now.
I loved how he sent one group of Marines to target down infestors as well.
Yeah.
That really helped him out.
And now it's like you're playing against the computer where the computer... Okay, there we go. GG.
Player 2 has asked to GG. Will you accept?
I suppose I'll click yes, says jjakji. And he's going to the round of 16. He is in Code A. And OGS Luvsic, after qualifying, back down to Code B.
And this Hosa coach comes in. High fives.
Not happy about that.
Well, I wouldn't be either. He was so ahead. If he had just been a little bit more patient, maybe things could have gone a little bit better.
It's really interesting to see how Zerg players are kind of struggling with this new sort of early game and mid game that Terran players have started doing since MLG. Because that was very different. I mean, even though his first attack totally failed, Luvsic was kind of like, all right, well, how do I really handle this? And he kind of tried to play like standard mutiling, baneling, and then added like infestors on in an awkward time.
Well, infestors were a good time.
Didn't quite work out.
Part of the problem was that jjakji did such a good job with dealing with those infestors. He had 4 Marines target down 3 infestors. And then beyond that, this happened in both games. There were... I'm just going to make a diagram for you guys. So there's this group of Marines right here. There's enough mutas to pick off some of the Marines and then leave. But he's like, well, I want to do this. And this happened in both games. He goes over. He's like, do I want to attack them? He's moving repeatedly here. The Marines are shooting at. And there's a fly flying around. Here, get out of here. You're not a mutalist.
Like a mosquito or something.
Yeah, it's like a mosquito. There's actually like a mosquito
that
here.
That symbolizes muta harassment. We've got animal trainers at the GSL now.
The mutas keep flying close to the Marines. The Marines are always shooting, and they fly over here, and they move away, and they come back a little bit, but they're never attacking.
Yep.
Then he loses 8 mutas for nothing. And if he had just engaged, he would have been in great shape, but he didn't, and he just kept doing that. Sorry, I just had to, I'm sorry, guys. I like talking with my hands. I was trying to give you guys the diagram there.
I'm paranoid now, man. I don't like mosquitoes at all. That was like a mosquito, I think.
I don't know if it was a mosquito or not, but now I'm freaking out. My chin itches a little bit. I'm like, did I just get bitten?
I would tell you, if there was a mosquito on your face, Wolf, I'd let you know. You just look down at the monitor, too.
I don't know.
It's
very difficult for me to look. I'm looking at an angle. I see the side of my face.
So... that was a beautiful diagram. I understand perfectly how that works now.
But yeah, all right, we're going to take a look at our match results.
Yep. There they are. So we saw Fruit Dealer keeping alive in the GSL, taking out Maru Prime. We saw Slayer's Ganji take down Oso Banban. And on the other side of things, we saw NS. Oh, where it is? Where is it?
So
oh, there it
left,
is.
You silly
Luvsic.
person.
They're like here and there around there. So we saw Luvsic taken down by jjakji. And there was another match as well. Oh, yeah, the best taken out by Yoda, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's it for this beginning session.
Yeah,
all the other
around,
games
guys.
you see there with Lucky and the best, for example. I mean, with Phoenix and Lucky. You can see those today as well later on tonight.
Yep, Phoenix versus Tassadar. Definitely stick around and cheer for our foreign players. Phoenix has been practicing really hard for it. He was practicing yesterday with Squirtle, actually, from StarTale. Yep, we've been taking him around. We've
He's
been
practiced
showing
with a lot of people. He's been practicing with people from the RVM clan.
Yeah.
Notably Mentalist. There's someone that maybe you guys in the foreign scene don't know, but if you play on the Korean server at a high level, everyone plays against Mentalist, man. He's really good.
I don't know a whole lot about him yet.
Well, he's just a really strong Protoss player.
Well, it's good that Phoenix is practicing against him because Tassadar actually went all the way to the finals.
Are we like listening to like a radio right now?
Yeah, no, it's just like, I think we're learning about this mix. I don't know, it's like we're actually at a real rave. It's like just start playing the next track.
The lights
please.
shut off and we're like, we pull out the glow sticks we've got inside of our casting blazers.
We have turntables hidden behind the monitors that we can't see. All right, that's going to be it for now. Join us again in a couple hours for more GSL Code A with Doa and Wolf here at the GSL Code A.
Look at where we are. Now that's what happens when you make it. I used to think, why am I this poor? And now I can have anything I used to wish for. If I lost it all to something, I would have to cry for. Whoa. Furthermore, I'd have to die for. Whoa.